Hello everyone, this is Ankit Kanodia from Zen Nivesh. First of all, thank you so much for being part of this journey. We are on the verge of completing our first year of operation, and it is fair to look back and just wrap up what we have been able to do. And thank you again for all the love and support. So, as we close our first year in operation, we are closing on our Zen Nivesh blog, where we have close to 10,000 readers. We have close to 10,000 followers on our Zen Nivesh Twitter account as well. So thank you once again. We at Zen Nivesh are focusing on the microcap space, which is again something which is not defined by SEBI, but for our understanding, we have clearly demarcated companies with less than 3,000 crore market caps is what we call microcap stocks. Now, many of us are not aware that this is a very large space. So, just to give you some numbers to understand the situation. So, we have roughly around 5,300 companies listed in the stock market, and out of them, roughly 4,300 companies in this space. And when I look at this 4,300 companies listed in the microcap space, which is less than 3,000 crore, I would say roughly around 3,300 companies would be those which have been almost on the verge of bankruptcy or dying, or businesses which are not doing great. And that has led to people or investors in general to believe that microcap space is full of kachras or something which is not worth looking at. But our focus is not these 3,300 companies. Rather, our focus is on the remaining 1,000 companies out of these 4,300 companies in this space. We believe out of those 1,000 companies, there are 200 to 500 companies which are really good and have the potential to do well. Now, that doesn't mean that all will do well, because they are small, because there is so much uncertainty related to the way the things will plan out. Of course, there are risk and uncertainty related to these businesses, but we are not betting on all the 200, 500 companies. Out of those companies, we have a watch list of somewhere around 50 companies, and from that 50 companies, 10 to 15 finally find way in our portfolio. Not all these 10, 15 companies will do well. Of course, some will do well, some will not do well. But history teaches us something, that if you do the right homework, if you follow the businesses over multiple cycles, if you can have a reasonable judgment on the management quality, you can make decent returns in this space as well. What is more important to know is that valuation matters a lot, even in the microcap space to begin with. But apart from valuation, what is more important is liquidity. As we are speaking at this current time, this space is devoid of liquidity, and that is why you are getting so many companies in this space trading at less than 10 times earnings, 10 to 12 times earnings. There are many, and I'm not talking about bad or poor businesses. I'm talking about decent businesses trading at 10 to 12 times earnings. Does that mean immediately the stocks of these companies will go up? No, we are not trying to say or paint that kind of a picture. What we are trying to say is that this particular space is offering a lot of value. Only when this value will meet liquidity, you will make money. We don't want to predict when that will happen. If you have been following us since last 1 year, you know that we don't predict, we prepare. So we believe that right now, in a calibrated manner, if you can increase your allocation to this space, your downside is very limited because the stocks have crashed already. I'm not trying to say that it will not crash more, it may. But the upside potential is very high if the companies which you are tracking does well, if the sector gets a tailwind, and finally, the last important point is if liquidity comes back in. Now, because there is uncertainty around when that liquidity will come, that is why you are getting that kind of valuation today. So if you are someone who can wait out, who is fine with investing in uncertainty, this is a good space to look at. But if you are someone who is looking at immediate 6 months or 1 year returns, probably this is not a space right now, and that is fine with us. We at Zen Nivesh have a very clear policy of being pull based rather than push based. So we don't do any paid marketing, we don't boost our post. Everything is organic, and everything is organic for a reason. It's not about affordability, but it's about our responsibility that we don't want anyone who is not suited for this space to come into this space and then panic. In fact, in the last 1 year, we have politely said no to about 20 to 30 prospects when we realized that they don't have the right risk profile to take our products. So that is it from us. Thank you so much for supporting us and being part of this journey, and we will from time to time keep sharing with you what we are doing, where we are doing. All the things are primarily done through Twitter and our Zen Nivesh Substack blog. So, and both of them are free, so you are welcome to join them. And we also have a Zen Nivesh WhatsApp group where we just keep sharing some of the information what we are trying to do at Zen Nivesh. Again, the idea is not to over promote or sell what we are doing there, but the idea is basically to keep giving you a flavor as to how we do research, what we do at Zen Nivesh, and where we are at this juncture, so that you can take an informed decision for yourself whether this suits you or not. So that's it from our side. Thank you so much for your love and support in FY26, and we are very excited for FY27 as well. Thank you.